Howdy, y'all, and welcome back to Guild News, where we're going to go over orders, pre-orders, releases, and events for this upcoming 4th of July week. Slow day for Games Workshop as we only have a few models for 40k, and then Middle-earth. But Asmodee is going to pick it up with some new Zombicide boxes, as well as Marvel Crisis Protocol. Unfortunately, Kyle's still on vacation, so with that, I'm Wes, and let's just jump into this. Well, coming up for Games Workshop, we have a few standalone models. First up is the Lion, Lionel Johnson. Now, in case you missed him the first time, Lionel Johnson is now coming as a standalone model. This is great for anyone who either missed the first pre-release or just didn't need all those models. Now you can get the Lion by himself. But that's not all. The Orcs have some love with Boss Snickrot. While most Orcs choose brute force, the Commandos have found another way. Stalking the battlefield, they take out their targets discreetly. Now, as always, the Orcs just look fun, and this looks like a great model. I know a couple of Orc players that are going to have to go after this one. But that up, Tal got some love with Commander Farsight. This rebellious commander has returned to the battlefield in a custom battlesuit. As much as we give Tau players crap for being Tau, their models do look good, and this model is no exception. Once put together and painted, I'm pretty sure he'll be the star of any army. A great centerpiece to have. But that said, that brings us to a close on 40k. Next up, we have some Middle-earth news, as we have Iron Hill Dwarves, warriors with spears. Raise your banner high as you form an impenetrable shield wall. Now, these models look great. As they are Games Workshop, they give them all the love they need. And for our Lord of the Rings fans out there, this is a great game to pick up. And these models look just so hardy. They look great. They're perfect for the dwarves. But that said, we have another box set coming up, Warriors with Matlocks. Crack open some orc skulls with your hefty mining tools. These models look great. Big two-handed axes, pickaxes, just they look great. They look like they're about to show up and do some damage. So again, for any of our Lord of the Rings fans out there, if you want to get started in this game, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people here that show interest. Just come in and let us know and we'll get it started. But that brings us to a close on Games Workshop. So let's just jump on over to Asmodee. Well, first up for Asmodee is going to be Arkham Horror the card game, the Circle Undone campaign expansion. In this expansion, 1 to 4 investigators will be uncovering the dark history of Arkham. Now, with this expansion, it comes with all the scenarios and content from the original Circle Undone campaign. So all you need for this is just the expansion and the core set, and you're good to go. Now, all the Lovecraft games that have been coming out lately are great, and Arkham Horror, the card game, is no exception. It's just a great game. So this looks like a good game to pick up if you're interested in that, and we might have to look into getting a store copy. But that said, next up we have Catan, Soccer Fever. This expansion adds a soccer minigame to the classic board game, earning you victory points as you win matches. Now, I'm not going to lie, when I first saw this, I didn't know what to think. This is a strange twist on the classic board game, but as I thought about it, this should speed the games up, allowing you a new alternative to add victory points as opposed to just building bigger settlements. So it looks fun, it looks interesting. I'm going to have to give it a try. But that should lead us into Marvel Crisis Protocol news. First up, we have Cosmic Ghost Rider. This standalone model wields both the power of hell and the power of cosmic, bringing true vengeance to the battlefield. No surprise here, all of the Crisis Protocol models have looked great. They're a great scale, easy to paint, and this is no exception. It is a beautiful model, and I can't wait to see just how much devastation this character can bring to the battlefield. But with that said, next we have M'Baku and the Claw. This pack has the two villains teaming up for the Wakanda affiliation. Now, I can't stress enough how beautiful these models are and how great and easy they are to paint, but more so than all that, M'Baku just looks amazing with the fur. It just looks like a good model. I can't wait to see him painted and on the battlefield. But more so than that, I want to see what power these models bring to the already strong Wakanda affiliation team. I can think of a couple players that are probably going to have to pick this up. But with that said, let's move on to Shatterpoint news with Appetite for Destruction. This box has General Grievous and Kraken leading B2 units into battle. I'm not going to lie, this box is already on my pre-order list, and if you're a Separatist player, it's on yours too. This is a great dark side box to have. General Grievous is just a powerhouse, and B2s, they're nothing to shake a stick at. They're going to bring some firepower to the table as well, so this is a great box to pick up if you haven't already. And with that brings us to the last item Asmodee is bringing up. 2 expansions for Zombicide. The Boys. These expansions will bring the Seven and the Boys to the battlefield. An all new set of characters with an all new set of powers. And I don't know what's going on at Zombicide with all the crazy expansions they have coming out, but this one's got my attention. We're going to have to play this at the store. We're going to have to get a store copy, or at least I'm going to have to get a copy. This looks great. I bet it's going to be a load of fun, but gotta love the boys. But that brings us to a close with Asmodee. Next up, we have events. Well, first up, we have Wednesday with Wednesday Board Game Night. This Wednesday is going to be Mixtape Massacre. This game has players taking the role of psycho killers, competing to be the most prolific murderer in Tall Oaks. This game is not only chaotic and competitive, but it's fun and funny. So hope to see you come down and roll the dice with us. We're always more than happy to play board games, and the more games, the better. Now, if too many people show up, we do have contingencies for backup games. Camp Grizzly is never off the table, but hope to see you down, and hope to see you this Wednesday. But that leads us into Friday, where we have Adventure League Friday. Now, unfortunately, due to some sudden scheduling issues, we had to cancel last Friday's game. But this Friday, we will be picking Curse of Strahd back up. So, if you have any interest in D&D and a level 1 character, why don't you come on down and roll some dice with us. We do have multiple DMs, so in case too many people show up, we're more than happy to break off and get things squared away. But that said, that does lead us into Saturday, where we have something special. Our last 9th edition Warhammer tournament. Now, this is just a fun little 2,000 point tournament that's going to have a $15 entry fee that will be due upon entry. We're using Arcs of Omen for mission, detachments, and secondary objectives, and we don't want any duplication of units unless they're troops or dedicated transports. Now, we are going to use WYSIWYG, but a painted army is not required, but we'll earn you 10 points if it is. This is going to be our last tournament in 9th edition before we move on to 10th, so why don't you come on down and celebrate 9th edition with us. Now, Sunday is going to be Asmodee Sunday this time around, and if you have any Shatterpoint, Legion, Marvel Crisis Protocol, X-Wing, Armada, bring it down. We want to play. We want to see anyone come in our door at 205 South 1st in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Or, down in the details below, is all our additional social medias. Feel free to follow, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, share, all of that. The more engagement means more people sees us. The more people that sees us means more people coming in, and the more games we get to play. But that said, that brings us to a close for the week. So, hope to see you next week. We love you from the Guild.